Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Let me see who was here first. L. Bell, thank you so much for being here first. Okay, I see L. Bell has woke up today and has chosen war. Good for you. Let me see. Ann Bullard, Mary H., Peach Rose, and so on. Let me see here. Novi D is here. Miss Levy. Okay. Hey, it's me. Hey, it's you. Thank you for joining us. Julia Rock, Tora Lovett, uh, Tamara Waters, Maurice Brown, or did I say that already? George Blackie, welcome. Good evening from Europe. I hope I am still awake to listen, watch tonight. Otherwise, I will watch in the day. Well, thank you so much for that. Thank you. Yeah, whether you can watch it live or if you have to stream it later, I appreciate the engagement. It helps to keep the lights on. Okay. Let's see. There is the slide. Hello, Jess. Okay. Oh, you guys are all riled up. I could see that in the comments. Oh, okay. Well, let's get into the nitty gritty, shall we? So, tabloids attack Meghan Sussex. Yeah, they have really pulled the knives out this time. And of course, the Prince Andrew story, if it is a story. We'll see about that. All right, so I am going to open up another screen so I can see what you all can see, and then we will get into it. Oh, okay. I think we're good. Church Nelly. Hey, Church Nelly, thank you for joining us. And Maureen, thank you, Maureen. Angela M64, Sharon Skinner. Maggie, thank you, Maggie, for being here. All right. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. So we got the news today, sort of, that Andrew is giving up his titles. At least that's what they told us. That along with Charles III, that he has agreed that he is not going to ever be known as the Duke of York, which comes as a relief to the people of York, who are just about sick of him. Do you hear me? Sick. They're just sick of him. And in spite of that, he's still been known as the Duke of York. And of course, Sarah, the Duchess of York, Duchess Sarah. Now, even though they're divorced, she still gets to use that title, I think, until she's remarried. And then after that, she has to stop calling herself Duchess. I think that's the way that works. Anyway, they have both cashed in big time from their positions. And they have definitely dealt with some of the shadiest characters. Hey, Joan Garcia. Let me see there. Sonia Johnson, welcome. So Andrew falls on his sword. Now, that is a term that is used because they say the honorable thing to do in ancient times, the honorable thing to do was to fall on your sword. In other words, just end it all for the sake of everybody, right? Well, that's what they want us to believe. But the truth is, he hasn't. He has not. It is another trick from the tabloid media. It's good copy. They're going to get a lot of engagements. There's going to be a lot of people clicking on that story, but all is not what it appears to be. I just want to remind you, because I'm petty AF, that it was Prince William that drove his uncle to church once, what was it, Sunday last year? One Sunday last year. They want us to believe this is the same thing as William has, what was that they were saying? That William was furious with his uncle. And William did not want to talk to his uncle outside of the church. Remember that? I didn't believe it. You all don't believe it. They were just saying that to help William save face, because after all, they want William to appear to be very decisive and very strong willed, right? And that he always takes the right choices and decisions, and he does the tough things that other people only dream of. When the truth is, I don't think that there's any division between William and his household and the York household. None. That is only for the cameras. Our eyes did not deceive us. We saw William laughing along with his uncle outside of the church. Trying not to laugh and trying to give him shade are two different things. Our interpretation, it seemed as though William was having a good laugh with his uncle, just like Charles was having a good laugh with him outside of the, what was it, the Duchess of Kent's funeral. The same thing still stands. That family has not pushed him out. They have gone through a lot of trouble to demonstrate their disdain for Prince Harry and for Meghan, but the Yorks are still in play behind the scenes and away from the cameras. They are still one big happy family, no matter what they say. And they have been, by increments, they have been trying to inch Andrew and Sarah back into the fold. They really want them to walk again at Christmas. I don't know who leaked those emails that got her in trouble all of a sudden, but if it was up to them, they would do the same thing this year that they did last year. But now that people have made such a big stink out of it, they are going to wait. And I guarantee you this time next year, both the Duke of York, because he is still the Duke of York, and Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, they are going to be back in the fold again. But let's play along with what the news people say. The media says that he has given up his titles. As a matter of fact, there is a statement. I love these pictures. I love these pictures. Nobody looks like, uh-oh. You know what I'm saying? Every picture that he takes always looks like, uh-oh. Why does all of his pictures have that look like, uh-oh? But anyway, he is such a buffoon. Okay. Can't be taken away. So that, of course, is a royal expert. What's his name? Grant, whatever his name is. I cannot stand him, but let me play the sound bite and then we'll talk on the other side, okay? Let me play the sound bite. To clarify, Prince Andrew has not been. Oh, sorry about that. Let me get the sound up here. And then we'll talk on the other side, okay? Uh-oh. Just to clarify, Prince Andrew has not been stripped of his titles. He's only agreed to stop using most of them anyway. So he's still the Duke of York. He's just agreed to stop using that title. Nothing's been taken from him at all. The decision was taken in recognition of the fact, I'm told by royal sources, that the prince's personal issues continue to be an unwelcome distraction from the work of the wider royal family. Read his associations with Epstein. Crucially, Prince Andrew is still Prince Andrew. He was the son of a monarch, so that title
can't be taken away. He's still Prince Andrew. He won't be known as Duke of York. He won't use the title of Your Royal Highness. There are various other honours as well he won't be using anymore, but he does actually retain most of them. How did this come about? Well, was he pushed? Was he shoved? Was it voluntary? Well, all we know is that it was taken in consultation, this decision, with the king, and the king is glad of the outcome. We also know that Prince William was involved in those discussions and other members of the royal family. And also he won't be invited to Christmas.
So in other words, business as usual. They are going to march him into the back door at Christmas time the way that they have done every year. It will be business as usual. He is not going to walk with the family for Christmas again this year. He won't do it. I know he did what last year, maybe the year before. So he's not going to walk with the family. He has not lost anything. He still has royal protection. He still lives in an official royal household. He lives in a property that was deeded to him at below market value by his mother. They cannot take that away from him either. Just like this whole pretense, oh, Charles is going to take Royal Lodge. Is it Royal Lodge? They're going to take that away from him. And what happened? He's still living there. Charles is going to take his titles away. He still has them. So what has changed? Nothing. This is much to do about nothing. I don't know who woke up today and decided that we were going to pretend like he was losing something. If everybody lost the way that he loses, we'd all be billionaires by lunchtime tomorrow. Okay? He doesn't lose anything. It is all smoke and mirrors. And of course, they throw in the part about William was consulted in this decision making. You mean the same William that drove him to church a couple of years ago? That William? William who put his uncle, the pervert, in the front seat? That's the William that helped to make this tough decision. If he was any tougher, he'd fold like a deck of cards. I don't see where he lost anything. He's still living high on the hog. And Sarah Ferguson, okay, so they're not going to call her the Duchess of York. That is something that the tabloids, they could have done that last week if they wanted to, right? The only person that loses is Sarah. He doesn't lose anything. She just won't be referred to as the Duchess any longer. But technically, if he's still the Duke, then she's still the Duchess until she remarries. Am I wrong about that? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to push that. Okay. So I saw congratulations was in order. Let me see here. Congratulations, Vivian Green, on your son's graduation. Let's get some applause for your son. Hang in there. Here goes. Wait, what happened? That was fast. Oh, well. Huh, okay. How about this? All right, there you go. Congratulations. You must be very, very proud. All right, let me take a look at some of your comments here. All right, let me see. Beatrice and Dylan says they needed to do this. Meghan was having too much of an impact this week. They needed this stripping of the titles talk to bring the topic back to the Sussexes losing their titles. You are absolutely right. Because everybody knows that that's the next thing on the menu is, well, what about Harry and Meghan? You're absolutely right. We can see that coming a mile away. Edie says if he gives it back to the crown, it is not taken from his heirs. Beatrice can still be made the Duchess of York, given its back places it holds. Was that right? Given its back places it on hold. Stripped will never happen. Will never ever happen. Okay. Now, see, I didn't know about that part. So Beatrice will become the Duchess of York? That's the first I've heard that. I'm not saying that it's not true. I just didn't really think about it. Okay, E.B. Lynn says the Queen gave Andrew a lifetime lease on that home. It can only be canceled if he doesn't keep up with repairs and maintenance. Plus, when he dies, the lifetime lease will go to his children. Yeah, and that's why he's fighting so hard to hang on to it, because he wants something to leave his daughters besides disgrace and shame. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He wants something that he can leave his daughters besides grace and disgrace and shame. Okay. And Kim Coates says, until an act of parliament takes titles away, he still has them, just as it is with Meghan and Harry. By the way, he still has security and royal lodge. That's what I said. He still has security, a royal protection, and he has a royal lodge. Nothing changes for him. Gaslighting, thank you. The only thing that's different is Sarah Ferguson. It sounds like they're going to refer to her as Sarah Ferguson and no longer use the term Duchess of York. But we'll see about that. We'll see about that. This may be all forgotten in a week. Yeah, they may forget about this in a week. And I do agree. All of this is happening so that they will have the ammunition needed to go after the Sussexes because they have the big mo. Their momentum is way too high. They cannot stand it. So here's the statement. In discussion with the king and my immediate and wider family, we have concluded that continued accusations about me distract from the work of His Majesty and the royal family. I have decided, as I always have, to put my duty to my family and country first. That's BS. But okay, let me read that part again. I have decided, as I always have. Okay, I'm sorry. It's funny to read that and think about Andrew at the same time. To put my duty to my family and country first. I stand by my decision 5 years ago to stand back from public life. With His Majesty's agreement, we feel I must now go a step further. I will therefore no longer use my title or honors which have been conferred upon me. As I have said previously, I vigorously deny the accusations against me. So the devil is in the detail. I have decided, right? I have decided I will therefore no longer use my titles. He's not going to use them. He's not giving them up. He's not giving up anything. He says he's not going to use it. Is this like an exercise in futility, or is there a point to be made here? What is the point of any of this? They didn't even have to bother. This is not even worth the page that it was written on or printed on. He's not giving up anything. He hasn't missed a meal since the Falkland Island War, right? He gets bigger by the minute. So what is he giving up? What is he giving up? Nothing. Blessing says, what difference does it make? He was born a prince. He will die a prince. He is living in a 30-bedroom mansion and enjoying all the benefits of being a member of that toxic family. Absolutely. Absolutely. He is not losing a thing. A 30-bedroom mansion. I didn't know it had 30 bedrooms. How many bathrooms? Okay. What is that? Can of soda? Can of soda. Okay. Can of soda. Meghan has a royal title she earned from Nigeria, which is much better. All right. Leg says, so I guess that now he gets to keep Royal Lodge and taxpayer funded security. The media will now pretend that he gave up titles to attack Harry and Meghan. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, it's smoke and mirrors. It is all gaslighting. It serves no functional purpose whatsoever, except it gives them the ammunition that they need to go after the Sussexes. Yes, and Meghan will still be a princess. Oh, you're quite welcome. Thank you for being here. Cookies and cream wants to say hi to a few people. Kevon Slim says they will never strip Harry and Meghan of their titles because that monarchy looks pretty anemic at the moment. Yes, they do. They look very anemic. There are so few of anything with that family right now. They would be foolish to start something that would inevitably encourage people to get rid of the entire institution. So, thank you for your comment. And thank you for the super chat. Now, never complain, never explain. I like Sarah Ferguson. I think she's a very spunky, fun, spontaneous type of person. But lately, I think we have seen her true colors. We have seen her true colors. Um, she's been given more chances than any woman of color could ever hope for. I repeat, she has been given more chances than any woman of color could hope for. I don't dislike her, but I am resentful of the fact that the media constantly targets a very hardworking, devoted mother who happens to have worked as an actress for 7 years on the same television show and other credits, who has worked as a philanthropist, a humanitarian for most of her life, ever since she was a kid. That's when her public service started. And yet, they have so much that they have against Meghan when the real troublemakers seem to get a free pass. Let me see. Melinda Farmer says, boy, the desperation is real for them folks on Salty Island. We will just keep giving it the side eye. Well, thank you so much, Melinda Farmer, for being a member of Royal Sussex, first of all. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. Sharon Chung, thank you for being here. All right. Anyway, I think that those shoes are a bit snarky, right? And other than that one little story about those shoes, they pretty much does. Sarah Ferguson gets a free pass. I don't care what anybody says. It seems like they're being kind of hard on her, but she is the one who seems to keep putting her foot in it. And if she's not putting her foot in trouble, she's putting her foot in someone's mouth. Literally putting her foot in someone's mouth. Okay, I'm going to swing over to this. Which one of these headlines do you think is real? I repeat, which one of these headlines do you think is real? William and Kate's celebrity-led PR offensive reveals the true depths of their identity crisis. Meghan and Harry's celebrity-led PR offensive reveals the true depths of their identity crisis. Which one of those do you think is real? Don't cheat. I'm going to give you guys a minute to answer that. Which one of those do you think is the real article? Go on. I'm going to give you guys a chance to answer. Let's see. I know we're on a bit of a delay, so it's going to take a minute. CL says the second one. You didn't cheat, did you? Why is Kate's name lowercase? Okay. So you caught me. Yeah, I made a mistake. I did that lowercase, didn't I? Anyway, very good observation. Yes, the top one is the one that I made. The bottom one is the real article. It should not be the real article, but it is the real article. Unfortunately, they have decided to call out Harry and Meghan for, by the way, I just fixed that. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't realize that I had made a mistake. So I'm going to fix that in case I use this again. It'll be in the proper whatever. Okay, thank you very much. I didn't even notice. If I had $1 for everything I did not notice, I would be able to retire to an island next year. Okay, so yes, you're absolutely right. The top headline is a fake. It should be the truth, but they are going after the Sussexes right now. This is what I meant by the British tabloid going after Meghan in particular, because ever since the trip to Paris, this is what I think happened, and I mentioned this before. Will and Kate had planned to do this whole look-alike campaign against the Sussexes. They're going to talk about the what do you call it? The too much. Anyway, they were talking about kids and the social media, right? We know that the Sussexes have gone to New York every fall for the past few years for this very same thing with the Parents Network and World Mental Health Day. So Will and Kate attempted to hijack that by coming up with their own type of anti-social media and children campaign. They picked out the clothes so that people would confuse them with Harry and Meghan, right? They did everything. They planned this for months to try to steal their thunder. And what messed it up? Meghan went to Paris. And so by the time Harry and Meghan arrived in New York, they had so much momentum. They were in so many newspapers and everything else that it really upset the plan. And so they are angry. And I believe Kensington Palace is striking out against them with the cooperation of the tabloid media. They are striking out against Harry and Meghan with all of these ridiculous stories and headlines and such. Lex says Meghan is everything they want to be. She is beautiful, intelligent, classy, and has a man that loves her. Her presence reminds them of mediocrity. Here, here. Mediocre Middleton. Exactly. Let's see. Thank you very much, Legs. Kevon Slim says that article really reads Harry and Meghan have all the energy in the royal family, and we don't know how to handle it. I like that one. I like that. Thank you very much for the super chat. Let me see. Did I miss anything here? Okay. Lex says Harry in UK will freak out. Meghan in Paris, British media freak out. No lies detected. That's exactly what happened. When Harry came to the UK, that activated Will and Kate into action. And so 2 versus 1, and they could not keep up with Harry. Even the tabloids that are loyal to Will and Kate decided to cover Harry. And then when Meghan shows up in Paris, those same tabloids that are loyal to Will and Kate, they decided to cover Meghan. And now those same tabloids have decided that it's time to make her pay for it. It is so sadistic. It really is. It is so sadistic. And I'm not even sure what that word means, but I think that's what it is. Okay. No one can really put it in proper context as far as I'm concerned. Well, you know what? I take that back. There are a lot of squatties who can definitely put things into context. But I'm going to go with this gentleman here, the notorious, that person right there, TJB, JTB. Anyway, we know him. We love him. He always seems to have the right words. I'm going to let him explain to you this whole thing with, anyway, let me just cue it up for you. Buckle your seatbelts. We're going to talk on the other side. Uh-oh, guess what? I did not save it. Oh, Meghan just dropped a, let me see. Oh, she's acknowledging the the award that she just won. Okay. So let me go to the professor. I got to get this right. Oh man, sorry about this. I have lost my place, but I will fix it. I promise. Mm. Okay. Oh, it's 2 parts. Okay, it's 2 parts. All right, we'll do part 1 and then we'll do part 2. Okay, here goes.
Hosted a summit. A seat at the table in Los Angeles was more than a soiree. It was a recalibration of power. Women who lead, create, and redefine culture gathered in one room to do what men have done for decades: open doors for one another. At the center of it all, Emma Green, the visionary CEO behind Good American, founding partner of Skims, and the quiet architect behind inclusive luxury. She's a woman who doesn't wait for permission. She builds empires. And standing beside her, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, philanthropist, producer, and global advocate for women and mental health. Meghan's presence alone carries symbolism. She's the modern embodiment of grace meeting grit. a reminder that soft power can still shake the establishment. Then there's Bozoma St. John, marketing icon, former CMO of Netflix and Endeavor, a woman who walks into every room like she owns the air in it. Aurora James, founder of Brother Valise and the 15% Pledge, rewriting what ethical fashion looks like. Kelly Wearstler, design powerhouse, whose fingerprints are on some of the most luxurious interiors in the world. Maria Sharapova, athlete turned entrepreneur, proof that reinvention is the ultimate flex. Rachel Zoe, the original fashion whisperer turned business mogul. Nicole Avant, producer, philanthropist, and former U.S. ambassador, who embodies diplomacy and dignity. Kristen Noel Crowley, founder of KNC Beauty, who made clean beauty sexy and powerful. Tina Chen Craig, creator of You Beauty, who turned skincare science into art. Lucy Guo, tech founder and investor, bringing Silicon Valley energy into female-led spaces. Yvonne Orji, actress, comedian, and author, reminding us that brilliance and humor are their own kind of power. Chriselle Lim, digital pioneer and founder of Fleur, who made influencer entrepreneurship aspirational. Stephanie Horton, e-commerce innovator and global marketing exec for Google Shopping. Safat Haider, founder of Array, who turned holistic wellness into modern luxury.
Okay, so that was part one. Oh, Sonia Johnson, thank you so much for the super sticker. And let me see, who did I miss here? Kevon Slim says, so is Harry and Meghan celebrity led, or does no celebrity want to work with them? Which is it? You know what? You are so right about that, because 1 minute they say they have no friends. Like Harry and Meghan are never on the red carpet. And the next minute they're saying that all they do is run around celebrities. So which is it? That is a good question. Is it or is it not people out there that just happen to be celebrities that are friends with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex? Lex says Harry, I'm sorry, I did that already. I'm going the wrong direction. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much, Kavan Slims, for the super chat. And Joan Garcia says, are any of the British media even smart enough to see they can't hurt or stop Harry and Meghan from doing anything? Is that much stupidity over there? Yeah. They will not stop trying anyway. This is why I don't know where Notorious JTB came from all of a sudden, but he is a godsend. He says a lot of things that a lot of us are thinking. And let's face it, I myself could never articulate it as well as he can, which is why I rely upon him so that the message is not lost. And I'm not too proud to say that I think he does an amazing job by explaining that, which can be confusing for people that are not familiar with the story. There's a lot of people who are not aware of a lot of the hijinks that have been perpetrated against the Sussexes behind the scenes. But we know better, and he does too. And I'm glad that he's on our side. So that was part of it. I didn't know there was two parts to this, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the part two, and then we'll talk.
Adi Devlukia, wellness leader and author, representing mindful living and self-mastery. Denisa Merritt, beauty artist and founder of her namesake brand, who built her company from the ground up and redefined creativity in cosmetics. Kristen Juszczyk, designer whose custom NFL looks turned stadium tunnels into fashion runways. Jasmine Hekmat, founder of Cult Gaia, the woman who gave us sculptural femininity. Elsa Hosk, top model and designer, whose quiet confidence speaks volumes. Every corner of that dinner table was excellence personified. Fashion, tech, wellness, sports, philanthropy, every industry represented by a woman who commands it. And through it all, Emma Greed's message rang clear. For far too long, men have been making deals behind closed doors. But now, women are doing it in plain sight and doing it beautifully. This wasn't a networking event. It was a movement. Soft power meeting strategy over candlelight. The wine was from As Ever. Every detail was intentional, every woman radiant. Because when women collaborate, the conversation shifts from access to ownership. This wasn't about getting a seat. It was about building the table, pulling up more chairs, and passing the mic. And if this night proved anything, is that the future isn't only female, it's fearless.
Wow. The evening proved that the future is not only female, but it is fearless. I love that. Does he have a way with words or what? Let's see. Kavan Slim says, we've all moved on from Paris for the most part, and yet the derangers and the UK media are still talking about it. It must have hurt them that bad. Thank you for the super chat. As I said, I think they had quite a few tricks up their sleeve for Harry and Meghan's annual trip to New York. And it was all upset by a woman who emerged from the shadows and walked across the floor at New York Fashion Week, and nobody knew she was coming. It's just that simple. All she did was show up. She didn't say much. She didn't do much. She sat down. In between, she embraced people that she recognized and recognized her. And for that, she must be punished severely. For that, she must be punished severely. We don't know how many people Meghan knows in the fashion industry, in entertainment. We just don't know. It's always a surprise, a pleasant surprise as far as I'm concerned. But for the derangers, for those haters, it comes as a shock. As a matter of fact, shock and dismay. That's the best way to put it. Shock and dismay. Let me see. Where is that? Oh, man. You could see it was in the cards. When Meghan walked out of that power lunch, what was it, last year with that brown coat on? The tabloids, not the tabloids, but the fashion magazines, they talked about it for a week straight. And all she did was show up wearing a brown coat. And yet it was the last word in fashion. So the idea that there is some type of Kate Middleton effect, we know that's a bunch of hooey. Kate Middleton doesn't affect much of anything. Okay. Well, let me see here. I know what I'm looking for. Give me just a second here. Oh, man. Oh, well, I'll share that later. Let me take a look at some of your comments and then we'll continue. Oh, Kevon Slim says, oh, yeah, okay, I did that. Did I miss something? No, I did not. All right. Very good. Connie Balmer, thank you so much for being here, Connie Connie Balmer. Thank you for being here. Okay. When you say something terrible always happens in the UK when they drag Meghan. Take a look at that. That dinner That dinner, I don't know. Okay, listen, this dinner is not the Paris Fashion Week, but for some people, it is the straw that broke the camel's back. It really is. Because let's say from beginning to this point, you have New York Fashion Week, you have fall in New York with the Sussexes, then you have Meghan in Washington, D.C., speaking with great authority and very comfortable in her own skin. And now, this dinner in which Meghan has a place of honor next to one of the most respected women in business. Somebody has just blown their pyloric valve. Someone has just blown their pyloric valve. When will it end? Is probably what they're thinking. How much more of this can they possibly take? This is humiliating. And the reason why it's humiliating is because they have tried to lift up and uphold that very mediocre Kate Middleton, who's, listen, Meghan is just in a league of her own. Why they try to remake Kate Middleton like she's some kind of CEO? She never could be. She could not even successfully take over her family business, Party Pieces. She's not capable. And they need to accept that and just leave Meghan alone. Leave her alone and just let her be. They're the ones that are making the comparison. It's not you, it's not me, it's the tabloids pitting one woman against the other. Nobody's asking for that. It's what they delivered. And it is causing more pain to Kate Middleton than it is to Meghan, because Meghan is the winner. Yes, they're dragging her name through the press, but she's still the winner. Anybody who can see straight knows that Meghan is the winner, not someone who sat around for 10 years scheming to marry into that family. 10 years. 10 years. And then spent another almost 15 years and still cannot do the job properly. No good at public speaking, has only taken one foreign tour in all the years she's been with that family. One time has she gone abroad solo. That's what I mean to say. One solo foreign tour, just one. And that's it. She's too precious. She wouldn't survive it. Okay, Nolithando, welcome. Anyway, cheers to Emma Greedy for having this amazing dinner. Okay. I'm just looking at a couple of your comments here. Joy Amore, welcome. Thank you for being here. Hi, Gwendolyn Daniels. Did I say hi already? Miss Simpson TV. All right. Now, Amanda Platel, Meghan's own goal of monumental stupidity is the kind only she is capable of making. Tell me they're not angry. Tell me that those people are not angry. What the hell kind of headline is this? Meghan's own goal of monumental stupidity is the kind only she's capable of. Listen, I did not read the article. I don't care about the article. The headline by itself was offensive. I am offended by that. I am offended. It does not matter what the article says. It does not matter because it is more of the same. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Let's see. Lynette says, for the past 10 years, as a Royal Mumbles cosplaying her husband's dead mother. For the past 10 years, a Royal Mumbles cosplaying her husband's dead mother. Kate Middleton has cosplayed Princess Diana first. And then when Meghan came along, she said, what? That'll do. I need some power suits. Thank you so much for the super chat. Exactly. I need some power suits. Get me some power suits over here. So this is why I'm sharing that with you. I did not care for the article. I went straight to the comment section. I repeat, I promise you, I did not read the article. I went straight to the comment section. All of the interesting stuff, as far as I'm concerned, is in the comment section. Meghan has always been a hardworking and multifaceted self-made woman. She's in her element as founder and business owner with As Ever. So far, the company has been very successful and its future is even brighter. Congratulations to Meghan. Next, no more bullying, DK. That is, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. The first one was Lead Night Fight. Remember that name from last time? No more bullying, DK says, and yet she has done more good and made much more money than you. She is happily married and healthy. This, of course, is this person speaking directly to Amanda Platel. Okay. Lead Night Fight says, I definitely don't think she has a big ego. I think she knows what she wants and deserves, and people don't like that. I don't think they like to see a woman, and a woman of color for that matter, who is proper and wants what she wants. People think it comes across as disingenuous because they don't believe in themselves. I don't know, but Meghan hate is weird. Next, same person. Why does it trigger you what she wears? She makes her own money and can spend it on what she wants. Just admit it. You are jealous and bitter. Same person. There is a need for Black women to I think there's missing something here. There's a need for Black women to be portrayed in their minds as perpetually struggling. For some of these people, Meghan is hated for not conforming to the narrative. They are even crying about her addressing financial literacy and independence for women, and of course, leaning into stereotypical tropes. Uncle Giant Pajamas. I love that handle. Uncle Giant Pajamas says, years of anti-Meghan spite, and it has made no difference to her. Not a jot. Not a jot. It must be so frustrating for you. Ha 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 ha. Okay, and back to Lead Night Fight says, when Meghan is talking about political issues, it's a problem. When Meghan is having a podcast on different models of women, it's a problem. When Meghan talks business, it's a problem. They just basically want Meghan to stop existing. Okay, there's something missing there too. But yeah, so there you go. Anyway, I thought the comment section was brilliant. Most of the comments were negative, just so you know. If you ever go to the comment section, you know where it says worst comments? If it has to do with Harry and Meghan, always click on worst comments, because if it's the worst comments in the Daily Fail and it's about the Sussexes, that means that they are inevitably supportive of Harry and Meghan. See how I did that? See how it has all those arrow downs and very few up? That's because there are so many hateful people that insist on saying, that the comment was negative. So that's the easy way to cut through all of the garbage. TCC's son says, I believe Kate's stylist quit because her reputation only reflected copy Kate's work. She needs paying clients. For your information, the notorious JTB has a YouTube now. Poor Andrew Karma. Thank you very much, TCC's son. And yes, we have mentioned it before that the notorious JTB does have a YouTube. He's also on the Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter. He's also available on TikTok and Instagram. So there is at least 4 easy ways to get the latest from the notorious JTB. What's it? JTB. I always want to say JBT. JTB. Thank you very much for the super chat. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Okay. Now, the Times target Meghan Sussex in a false charity scandal. I haven't even gotten to the meat of this assault yet. I haven't even gotten to the meat of it. A false charity scandal. Now, what does that mean, pray tell? Well, give me just a second here. Let me find that column. Okay. So, when the Times published its piece titled Charity Represented by Meghan Accused of Racism and Sexism, the readers could be forgiven for thinking that the Duchess of Sussex was implicated in wrongdoing. In reality, Meghan Sussex has no connection to World Vision UK, the branch at the center of the claims. Her ambassadorial work with World Vision Canada ended in 2017, months before she joined the royal family. The difference is crucial, yet it was ignored. The difference is crucial, yet it was ignored. They just totally skipped over that. That's very important because they're trying to indict Meghan as though she has done something wrong. Number one, she ended any connection to World Vision years ago. Number two, this ain't got nothing to do with her. But it's a way to get engagement, a way to get clicks and engagement. Kevon Slim says, they are so butthurt, but why? I haven't heard that one in a long time. Thank you, Kevon Slims. Because they have tried to uplift that is, that very superficial, mediocre Middleton, and nobody is buying it. Do you know how much time and resource that William and his crew are wasting competing against people 5,000 miles away? 5,000 miles away. So, the British media's new tactic twist headlines to the point Harry and Meghan are racist, deflecting from real scandals within the royal circle. The article frames Meghan as an active participant in a scandal that has nothing to do with her. It uses her name to sell a story about workplace compliance, complaints, that is, within an entirely separate organization. That omission is not accidental. It is part of a long-running British media tactic. Attack Meghan to negativity, attach, that is, Meghan to negativity to guarantee engagement, which is just what I just said. The Times has since added a brief note claiming to make clear that the Duchess of Sussex worked with World Vision from 2016 to 2017. However, that clarification omits the crucial fact that Meghan's role was with World Vision Canada, not the UK branch, now under scrutiny. This distinction, easily verified with a simple online search, was ignored in both headlines. And the original text, the correction does little to undo the misleading framing that initially linked her to a UK-based controversy. What Meghan actually did: before her marriage, Meghan worked with World Vision Canada, emphasis on Canada. The focus was an actress to clean water and girls' education. She visited Rwanda and India to support humanitarian programs and stepped down from the organization in late 2017. Her role ended before she became a working royal. World Vision operates through national branches, each with independent governance and leadership. World Vision UK internal issues are its own. Yet the Times blurred this distinction to imply continuity between Meghan's advocacy and the UK charity under assessment. This kind of distortion creates confusion while tarnishing a reputation that has already endured years of media hostility. The facts are simple. Now that just stinks. That absolutely stinks. Anyway, thank you, Feminagra, for this very thorough report. This was a deliberate hatchet job. Anyway, the facts are simple. Meghan has not worked with World Vision in 8 years and was never linked to the British branch, but accuracy was secondary to the headline shock value. The piece reads as an effort to undermine Meghan's credibility as a humanitarian, precisely at a time when her global influence continues to grow. A familiar distraction strategy? The timing of the Times article is notable. It appeared as renewed attention turned toward Prince Andrew and his continued legal and financial controversies. This pattern is familiar when the royal scandals surface. Meghan becomes the media's preferred diversion. Stories linked to her unrelated issues appear with striking regularity, pushing public focus away from those still within the institution. Social media users were quick to call out the manipulation. Journalists and readers alike described the article as misleading and libelous. Misleading and libelous. Even commentators who once defended the Times now say it has abandoned editorial standards in favor of clickbait. Murdoch's ownership has increasingly blurred the line between journalism and tabloid sensationalism. While the Times quietly amended its article, the damage is already done. The misleading headline remains online and continues to circulate across social platforms. fueling harassment and misinformation. A one-line disclaimer cannot distract or counteract, that is, days of traffic and outrage. By refusing to issue a full correction, the outlet reinforced the same cycle rather, that Meghan once described: journalists using her name to pay the bills, regardless of fairness or factual accuracy. Now, a final thought from Feminagra. The article offers yet another case study of how misinformation thrives under the veneer of legitimacy. It falsely ties Meghan Sussex to a charity she left years ago, omits key factors, and capitalizes on her name to generate outrage. Such behavior is exploitation disguised as reporting. Meghan's record with World Vision Canada remains one of service and advocacy, not scandal. Yet British media continues to rewrite her story to shield the establishment from scrutiny. When truth becomes optional, integrity disappears within it. Once again, you guys, I encourage you to sign up with Feminagra. That way you can get a direct, the news story from them. Not to mention, Feminagra also has a YouTube channel. So you don't have to miss anything. You don't have to have it filtered through me. Okay, Joan Garcia says Brit media doesn't want and can't handle the truth. Thank you, Joan Garcia. Again, Meghan had an amazing night as the guest of honor of Emma Grady, and they just could not take it. Something snapped, and they decided to go after her. But the truth is, nothing is going to derail this train. Meghan's popularity is growing. Her stature is only getting bigger. They should just worry about the king, who is very ill, the queen consort, who looks awful and may be ill herself. I don't know in which order. Maybe there's nothing wrong with her. Maybe she's I can't say picture health because she looks awful. But anyway, it doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there. They should just leave her alone. Kevon Slim says, the crumbling, decaying empire strikes back. How aptly put, the empire strikes back. Absolutely. Okay. Muriel has given me the information that I was looking for. Harry's trip on the plane, where the lady was like, acting all nervous and, shy and everything, and almost in tears because she was so happy to meet Harry. Anyway, that video is from 2016. That video was from 2016. So it is not a new video. TMCD says they can't handle the truth. Thank you so much for the super chat. They cannot handle the truth. Speaking of can't handle the truth, the facelift dropped so fast, a doctor made a video calling it too. Yes, there was a doctor who said that the success of that facelift was going to be short-lived. I don't know if this photo has been doctored. I don't know. I still think she's a beautiful woman, and I don't think that is any shame or embarrassment in wanting to look your best. Yeah, That's all I have to say about that. But there was a recent photo shoot with mother and daughter, Kim and Chris, and it appears that that very youthful face that we saw for the past couple months was temporary. It appears to be that way. I don't know. People had accused Chris Jenner of using filters and all that kind of stuff, but there I did see that video where the one doctor said that that what we saw was temporary, and that as things settle, she is going to look closer to her actual age. It doesn't matter. She's still a beautiful woman. She has been very resourceful. She has built an empire for her family. And whether you like the Kardashians or not, they have been very successful with just about everything. So it is what it is. And with that, I am going to bid you all a farewell. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. I may come back later if there's anything interesting that comes up, but if not, I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much to the moderators for keeping this a safe space as per usual. And thank you to everyone for your super chats and super stickers, and also for everyone who has a membership with Royal Sussex. Remember, a membership to Royal Sussex only costs $4.99. That is the equivalent of a cup of coffee. Just once a month, you can give up one cup of coffee and support Royal Sussex. Okay? All right. Love you guys. See you next time. Cheers. And yes, my birthday is coming up. And yes, it is Scorpio season. Okay. All right. Love you guys. Cheers.